Cool.
This is the longest video. Who's going to sit through this?
They will. Sorry. Okay. Wait, I have a few more quick ones real quick because I just thought of things. Any other fun last minute horror stories or crazy amazing stories?
People always ask me what's the best audition you've ever seen. Absolutely, that is not possible. I had to read 48 pages of dialogue with Sam Jackson for Pulp Fiction, and he almost didn't get the part.
The audition was 48 pages of dialogue?
The final audition was 48 pages.
They don't do that anymore.
For that kind of a movie, they would.
They would?
Yeah. For that big a role? Absolutely.
I've never been in for roles like that.
But it took 3 days to determine between him and the other actor. Oh, the best audition I've ever seen. I was working as the associate on The Pope of Greenwich Village, which was a movie that starred Mickey Rourke and Eric Roberts. We were auditioning actresses. We were auditioning actresses of a certain age, and every actress was coming in. They were just lining up. Geraldine Page, she hadn't won an Oscar yet, but she had been nominated 8 times. Came in and read for that role. I had to read opposite Geraldine Page. I thought, I am reading opposite perhaps one of the greatest actresses of all time. I read opposite her, and I literally felt this energy coming towards me. I just continued to read and focus on her. And she said, thank you. And she shook my hand and she said, thank you so much for reading with me. And she walked out of the room and I turned around. The director, the 2 producers, and my boss were in tears.
Really?
She, of course, got the part and she got an Oscar now. I've only felt that one other time. A 13-year-old girl who I met in Australia. And that's the end of that story.
What's her name?
I'm not going to tell you.
Why? Why can't you tell us?
That's it. We're done.
No. What about the worst audition? Or a really bad one? A really horrifying one? A really scary one?
A scary one was I had been having some health issues in my upper chest. And it was an actor I knew very well. And he read this role with me and went like this to me. It scared the shit out of me.
Don't touch.
Don't touch.
Don't touch.
Don't touch. Don't pull out a knife. Don't pull out a gun.
Don't do that. Are there other people that you read before they became famous that are now famous that you could tell us?
Sure. I'm doing this for...
Yeah, give me one.
I put Uma Thurman in her first movie.
What? What was
Johnny Be Good.
What was she like?
She was 16 years old. She was great. But we all have. I mean, Brad Pitt used to come in for me. If you've been doing this as long as I have.
It's the Stone Age.
Exactly. It's Jurassic casting.
Jurassic casting. Jurassic casting with Gary. In the room, is there something that makes an actor stand out to you?
If somebody does a really great audition, they stand out. Sometimes you just get that energy from somebody and you say, wow, this person's sort of got that thing. There's no one
formula, yeah.
Yeah, there was one episode of Without a Trace where Steven Spinella came in. Now, I was like, holy shit, Steven Spinella's coming in. My producers had no idea who he was. And he was so humble and so nice. And he was a specific way to go for the part, which we ended up going in a very different way. But, that was so fun. And,
Do you often bring in, let's say that the role is a certain way, bring out, 1 or 2 out-of-the-box choices?
Depends on the role.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, if you're casting a Navy commander, you can only go so far out of the box.
Yeah.
Not because Navy commanders don't look different in real life, but because we have an expectation of what they should be. Television tells stories in very quick time. Even movies, we tell stories very quickly.
So switching to movies real quick, let's talk about Kissing Booth, the Kissing Booth movies. Gary cast them. Tell me about the process for those.
Well, they were shooting in South Africa, so we were casting the leads.
You were kissing the leads?
Kissing the leads. We were casting the leads. And we've been talking about Joey King, but we read a lot of actresses for her. And we kind of felt that she was right. And for Jacob Elordi's role, we had done a massive search. We read every guy in Los Angeles. I mean, we were working on this for at least 2.5 months, just reading and reading and reading.
Like how many people would you say?
I would say easily hundreds. So we were getting just tons of self-tapes and tons of self-tapes. And we were about to hire somebody who's in Texas. And we still were like, he's good, he's not it. And a manager called me up and said, hey, I represent this kid in Brisbane. He's done an extra role in one of the Pirates movies. So he hasn't really done anything. But he did a self-tape. I said, okay, I'll look at it. And I looked at it, and this can't be real. So I called Kamal, assistant associate, and I said, am I crazy? I mean, this is really good. Phenomenal. So I called up the director. I said, where are you? He said, I'm driving. I said, you have your laptop with you? He said, yeah. I said, get to the nearest Starbucks now. And he started laughing. I said, seriously, get to the nearest Starbucks because this is time sensitive. There's a kid in Australia that I want you to take a look at, and with the timing and everything, if we want to do something, you've got to see it quickly. If you can, pull over. And he called me back like 15 minutes later, and is this for real? I said, I don't know, but we've got a Skype audition in my office with him tomorrow. And he got the role and won the IMDb Star of the Year award. And
What?
and now he's on a big career.
What made him stand out in that audition?
He just inhabited the role. I needed this all-American football jockey, 6'4". He's perfect looking, but he just had this. There was no push to it. It was all easy.
That's amazing. That's a great story.
So
miracles happen.
Yeah.
With self-tapes in general, do you, when you're watching it, like within the first 10 seconds, do you like to watch the whole thing?
Again, there's no rules. Sometimes within the first. Sometimes
Yeah.
physically essence of them that's not right, and sometimes you're just intrigued and you watch it and go, let me call that person. Well, if they're here, call them in, and if they're not here, when we were casting a pilot this year, we were casting internationally. We were shooting in New Zealand, but it needed an international-based cast.
This is Triangle.
So there's an actor who his name is David Oakes. He's a British actor. He was reading for a role. He wasn't quite getting what my producers were looking for specifically in that role. I asked his agents if I could call him, gave him some notes, and then the director said, I would like to talk to him too. And I said, great. So he talked to him. He ended up not really being right for it, which we kind of knew, but he was such a good actor that it was worth it.
Yeah. So with the pilot, you obviously see like a lot more people for roles too. It's like a movie, right? You see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people.
You can't even imagine. It depends on the pilot. Sometimes you're limited because the role is so specific.
Right.
And sometimes
you're limited on time.
Yeah, and sometimes even when the roles are incredibly specific, like Triangle, because it had a huge cast. We had a role for somebody who was Indian. You were too young. Way too young. But we saw everybody that could be seen. We saw from New York, Toronto.
Did you have casting offices in those places that you worked with too?
Oh, we did. New York, Toronto, London, Australia, New Zealand. So we were shooting in New Zealand.
And then, so you were watching a lot of self-tapes.
We ended up hiring. Well, he was a well-known actor, but we ended up hiring an actor self-tape. His vineyard in Italy.
Ooh.
He played Marco Polo.
For actors that are starting out or they've got the reps, what kind of advice do you have? Career advice, I guess, for actors that are not getting into the bigger rooms yet or haven't gotten that thing yet to make them somebody on your radar?
You just keep trying. And you continue to work on your craft. Because if you stop working on your craft, it gets lazy.
In classes,
doing theater.
And what about what about actors reaching out?
Yeah, it's really hard these days because a lot of us go from office to office. Usually if they have a rep, that rep will send it, have your rep send me an email and say,
okay, yeah, good to know.
I don't have an account where actors could email me. I'd just be inundated.
Yeah, no, that's a lot. It would be a lot.
It's your mother calling.
My mom's calling. Mom, I'll call you later. You can watch this. Okay.
Well, you covered a lot of territory.
Yeah, covered a lot.
There's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
You got to keep studying. You got to be out there. You got to be present. You got to know that it's what you want more than anything else. Be smart. When you walk into a casting director's office, it's not all about you. Until that moment that you walk into the room and you do your thing. People work hard. The people in casting offices, they have brought you in because they want to try to get you the job. Sometimes you're right, and sometimes you're not right. But you always want to be kind and you want to be smart because someday you will be right for something else that they're casting.
How do you feel? I'm just going to list a bunch of things you can just answer. How do you feel about people starting over a scene if they don't feel...
Sure. If you're feeling bad, start over.
Even if it's deep into it or go back a couple lines kind of thing? Or is that...
If you know what? You're an actor. You should be able to sense whether the person on the other side is going to be responsive to you. Get out of your head a little bit.
What about flubbing lines or improv?
Everybody flubs the line. Improving.
If it's not a comedy.
Here's the thing about improv. Yeah, even if it's a comedy. I was teaching a class, and I was using some scenes written by a multiple Emmy-winning writer. And this guy started improv. And I stopped him and I said, exactly what are you doing? He said, I'm improving. I said, you should have looked up who wrote this. This person has earned at least 10, if not more, Emmys as as a writer. He's considered one of the great writers of our generation. It's his words, not yours. You should not be improvising. And he said, well, my acting teacher told me that I've got really good instincts and I can improvise. You're not this writer, and if you were going in for a Eugene O'Neill play, you would not be improvising. This is the same level as a Eugene O'Neill play for television. They want to hear you say what they've written. So be very careful on improvisation unless it's called for. Be smart. Assess that room. If, center yourself on that camera. I mean, if you rehearsed it to your left and the camera's not in the position for that, we're not going to change the camera for you.
Right.
You have to adapt to your environment. The expectation of an actor is that they can adapt to different scenarios. Right. When you walk on the set, you're acting opposite actors that you may never have met before. You adapt.
Right.
That is an expectation. When we give you a direction, you have to process that. You have to be open-minded in them. Keep your mind open and adapt to be adaptive. Being adaptive is always going to be your best asset.
And you can rehearse different ways too. Rehearse it different ways. Rehearse the camera on both sides. Rehearse different notes that you might be given, different ways to play it.
Or just be open-minded. Don't lock into something, especially for an audition.
Yeah, even if you think it's different than what it is, what they're telling you, go with try what they're telling you, don't be stuck in the way that you prepared it.
The only other thing that I want to do is I want to big push. There's an organization that's called the Actors Fund, and I'm on the board of director, and it is one of the largest organizations for actors and actually anybody in the entertainment industry. We're actually changing our name. I can't tell you what the new name is. It's not supposed to. But it's being changed. It's the oldest charitable organization in the entertainment industry. It was started in the 1860s by Buffalo Bill Cody and Sarah Bernhardt. That's how old it was. Wow. And we have unbelievable services. We have something called the Looking Ahead program for child actors so that they can socialize in a normal way and learn about what it's like to be a child actor and how to grow up and become an adult actor from that point. We have a Covered California office, which will help get you insurance. We have a jobs training, a career transitioning program that's absolutely fantastic. They'll help you write a resume. They will help you determine what it is you want to do. We have counseling, psych counseling if you need it. And we also have financial aid programs.
Amazing.
Look up the Actors Fund. Become a member of the Actors Fund. It's $25 to join. It's an amazing organization. We are building the first arts housing facility in Los Angeles. We're building it. We're breaking ground later this year. It'll be in Hollywood. It'll have low-income arts housing. It will also have a theater and workshop space, arts housing, and it will also house the actors.
I'm going to sign up. You guys should sign up too.
Sign up.
Sounds amazing. Yay! We're done. Thank you, Gary, so much. If you guys enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, comment, do all those things. And if you have any follow-up questions for Gary, let me know, and maybe we'll do a follow-up interview. And I'll put his
Twitter.
Follow him on Twitter. He's got a bunch of stuff coming up. Yay! Okay, cool. Bye.
Bye.